How do you handle your mania when you're bipolar? Is it always the same where you always want to go and shop for clothes? Or are you like me where it depends on the season? There are times where I want to shop for clothes. I want to get a new animal. I want to get a SUV or a new vehicle. My mania seems to never be the same. And I think it has a lot to do with a lot of times there's also underlying depression, that it's not 100% mania. There's also the depression in there. So I tend to look for something that will blanket both. I will try to find something that's going to make me happy, make the mania happy, as the same time as making the depression happy. And usually I find that that's a new pet or a vehicle. Yeah, I'm never happy with just a cheeseburger. Okay, sometimes. Lately it's been taco pizza. But I am just curious of what you tend to do, or what makes your mania calm down, if there's anything. I know that what used to, this is bad, but I know that when I would have a mania episode, I would go drinking. And the bad part of that is alcohol is a depressant. So it was kind of counteractive where, yeah, let's get drunk and be happy. And then we're drunk and we drank too much and now the depression kicked in. So, you kind of screw yourself there. But I know that that was a big one for a long time. Or was it the depression trying to reach the mania? I know that my doctor was very upset when I would be out drinking all the time, but I was depressed and I was trying to find that fix to make me happy. And in the end, I guess it maybe backfired, even though I don't feel that way. I felt like I drank because I wanted to. I liked the feeling. I guess it was also had a numbing effect where if I get drunk, or I didn't even always have to get drunk, but I would drink and it would make things like problems invisible. Um, so I would use that as a tool, um, or I would sign up for loans online that I knew I wouldn't be able to pay back. Although in the beginning I did have credit cards and I was paying them back, and then I fell behind. And then I didn't give a shit. I would go stay up night after night trying to get these loans at no matter what cost. I didn't care. And now David and I are kind of both the same way because he's bipolar as well. And I guess, we have talked about couples who have bipolar and how they handle things. And I never really thought about it, but him and I are a lot alike, where we will go and try to acquire a different vehicle at whatever cost because I pay the bills. I'm like, yeah, we can afford that. And in reality, we could. It might strap us a little bit, but we didn't care. And now we will, we have, he actually has 3 credit cards. Um, I didn't know he applied for them. I should have been pissed. Not really, because I benefit from it. Of course, who's going to complain about that? But I pay the bills, so I should have been made aware of these credit cards and that they're going to, make our bills go up. But they're petty. They're really nothing. And it's not an issue. But I would like to know what other people do when they are having, I guess I'll just call them bipolar episodes, whether they're mania or whether they're depression, whether they're combination. I think about it and I don't think that it's always just one. Either you've got the mania or you've got the depression. I actually, now that I think about it, I think that they can actually coexist at the same time, where you're depressed, so you go and try to find something that can help with that depression, and it turns into a mania event. Um, I mean, today we went to look at standalone bathtubs because we don't have a bathtub. We almost spent how much money on a standalone. I got in the goddamn thing at Menards, and with my knee, I almost couldn't get out. I almost couldn't get in because it was really deep. It looked like a little bitty bathtub until I went to get in, and I'm like, okay, I'm in here now. How am I going to get out? It was very slippery, and it was dry, and I'm like, so when it's wet, how in the hell am I going to get out of here? I said, what am I supposed to do? I asked him, I said, am I supposed to call you every time I have to get out of the bathtub? This is pretty funny. But, he doesn't do these things for himself. He does these things for me. And I really appreciate it. Um, and eventually something will happen, just not right now. And, even say that, we're like, oh yeah, we'll do that later. What's going to be different later than what it is now? If we get the one credit card paid off, I should check into that. Get the one credit card paid off, we'd have enough money to get the bathtub. I'm still not going to be able to get out of it or hardly into it. So I guess maybe I should rethink that. But there are different, styles. But this was sort of like a clawfoot, but not a clawfoot. It didn't weigh 600 pounds, and but I love clawfoot. You can fill them up all the way, and this one was able to be filled really far. It was very deceiving from the outside, and once you were on the inside, it was a whole different story. So yeah, last night we had date night. We decided to go to Happy Joe's again because I wanted taco pizza. It's like we go out to just pick something up or go to the bank, and neither one of us had eaten. And you want to get something to eat? Yeah. Where do you want to go? You know the answer. Why do you ask? I don't know. I'm not hungry, but I want to eat because I know I have to eat. Oh, I'm so tired. I took out some beef, just little beef stew meat. They're just little cubes. I buy them all the time. They're just in a styrofoam tray. and then I divide them, and they're like a pound a piece or so, and I will put them in my food saver and put them in the freezer. And I also had chicken thighs, because I don't like white meat, and I suffer and make myself eat it anyway, and I just kind of pick at it. But these are chicken thighs, and they're square, and I had bought those because we had money left, so I did some extra grocery shopping, and so I was doing the food saver, and I was marinating the beef. And I got out potatoes. I had a bag of potatoes, and there was one in there that was small, squishy. It was so decayed, rotten, if you want to call it. It stunk so bad. It made the whole bag of potatoes wet and gross. So I dumped them in the sink, and I sprayed them down, and I went through each one, and I tossed out the ones that had any white, which to me is mold. And it wasn't even the fact of how I stored them, because I was storing them the way that they're supposed to be, in a cool, dark place. I know we're getting so technical here, but so I laid them out to dry, to check them and make sure that the I was keeping the ones that were good and tossing the ones that weren't. Hey, I don't have a hair scrunch. Oh, I have a hair scrunchie. It's in my hair. Because it's been a rough 2 weeks or so between us. Um, I still sound like I have a cold, but yeah, it's been a couple of rough weeks, and we're managing, because I'm the manager. I'm the supervisor. I always say that on like everything. He'll be doing a project, and I'll be watching, and I direct. I'm like, no, try this or try that. Do this or do that. And it sounds bossy, but it's not like he really has to do it that way. It's just work smarter, not harder. I mean, I should probably talk, but I just don't do anything with him around. Um, I so I had the meat out to cook for dinner. I had good intentions, and I was up here in my office watching some YouTube channels and some things, and talking to some people on my phone, and just kind of chilling out. I just needed a break. And I don't know how long I fell asleep, because I woke up. I'm like, shit, the meat's still out on the counter. Because I had it in a container, and I have a cover, and had the marinade on it and everything. And I'm like, shit, it's how late. I don't feel like cooking anymore. I'm tired. I just woke up, but I was still really tired. I'm still really tired right now. Like I said, it's been a rough couple weeks between insomnia and personal things that I'm not going to discuss, because it's my business, it's our business, and I just don't want to talk about it. And so we've had a couple of rough weeks. I ended up falling asleep, and I'm like, I know I'm repeating myself. I even did a video last night about OCD, which I'm going to I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because I can't tell if I like it or not. It was a new topic that I am diving into, because when I did the video and I was reading once in a while. I'll read off my screen. It was from Mayo Clinic, so it's accurate. And I was reading about OCD and found out that I have more OCD than I thought. Um, but it's not borderline, and it's not bipolar, and any of the top tier mental illnesses that I have. So we never talk about it. I've never talked about it at all with a therapist. And now that I found out and did some research about it, I do need to talk to him about it, but I won't. It's something that I can handle on my own. It's pretty mild. Because if you hear about certain types, they're much more severe, and I just don't. I just go with it. So yeah, I had this video that I made, and I just wasn't pleased with how it turned out. So I was super tired. And then anyway, tonight I ended up falling asleep up here. You always heard me beep with my little heater. Well, it's a ceramic heater, and it oscillates, and it like gets to a certain temperature. I set it at a certain temperature and it doesn't stop. It goes over. So it gets really hot in here. So I turn it down and it gets really cold in here. So I'm like checking out heaters last night and kind of getting an idea of what kind of heater is good. And David and we went to Menards. And he knew that I wanted to look at heaters. He did check out Walmart and he said, that one at Walmart it was like double the price or something. I don't know. But I ended up, because I want a heater that heats the room, where the little ceramic ones, they heat just like a little area. And so we got one, and it was a little more expensive because it's one that can be up against the wall. And it's infrared. Infrared. That sounds so bad. God. Infrared. And as we're standing in Menards, this is so me. I get on there and I'm like asking Google. And I'm not going to say it loud because she'll chime in. But, is infrared energy efficient? Because we had a lovely awakening with our electric bill. I think I discussed that. And they said, yeah, the infrared is really energy efficient. So this one's nice. I actually like it. It does heat the room. You can have it on like 72, 73. And it's very comfortable in here. I was leaving the door open because I was trying to heat the bathroom and the hallway out there a little bit. But as soon as I was doing my video, I didn't want to be fucking with it like I usually do. It's a distraction. But, yeah, it's Friday, I think, now. And it's like there's something, I can't remember. I'm still dealing with Amazon, trying to get my money back. And I don't know if I mentioned it in my video last night or if I mentioned it in a different video, but I have just been through hell with Amazon trying to get my refund on something I returned that I have proof that I sent it out. I have all the tracking and I have proof of the delivery. And they're saying I didn't send it back. And I emailed them the proof. And then they said, then they go, they have the proof. Then it's been more than 30 days. And I'm like, no, I ordered it December 2nd. I didn't get it December 2nd. I ordered it December 2nd. So it's like I had a few days, then I had a weekend. And then I think it ended up being the 10th. But in between, I was calling them, asking them, where's my refund? Because I had sent it back. And they're like, well, we didn't get it yet. We didn't get it yet. We didn't. They kept saying that until the 10th showed up. And that was supposed to be the deadline. And I'm like, I sent you all the proof. Here's the tracking number. Oh, we don't track. Well, and you're useless, you fuckers. I'm so mad. I mean, I even went back down to the post office. I called FedEx. I called USPS. I called Amazon, I swear to God, a dozen times. And then I ended up, I'm going to scoot a little because my back has been really sore lately. I went and Googled what I can do. And I actually could write Jeff Bezos myself. He's the owner of Amazon, amongst a lot of other things. So I wrote to him and see where I can get. Because the 10th had passed, and that's not my fault. If you look when it was delivered to them, it was the 8th, January 8th. So screw you, on your 30 days. I have proof right there that it was delivered to them on the 8th. So I get a hold, it's like, I don't know what it takes to actually get a hold of him, but I got a hold of somebody in his office who, I'm sure he's busy, on his yacht or whatever. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. All I cared about was getting to a higher up, even though I'd ask for a manager. Oh, I am that. You're just a fucking peon. Don't even go there. And then eventually they would look at my history, and I see you called before. Yeah, you know how many times I called before? And I cussed once, and if you cuss again, I'm going to have, there's businesses you can cuss up a storm and they could care less. They're there to do the job that they can. They don't care. But yeah, this one, I got yelled at. Okay, fine. So, yeah, I've been in touch with, I like to call it corporate, even though it's not. It's the owner. And I'll go to the Better Business Bureau next. And I know I talked about the Better Business Bureau once before, so I'm not going to talk about it again because it's whatever. I'm so over it. God, and it's not even, the only reason that I'm pursuing it is because it's $85. It's not $8. It's $85. And for us, that's a chunk of money. He's been dealing with the insurance company and the SSA, and oh my God, they want him to pay $450 for a prescription. Because then if he pays that $450 up front, he's not going to have to pay any deductibles or any copays, apparently. Well, shit, I don't know. When you're on disability, I'd like to know where these places think you're getting this money from. And when you're waiting on disability, they tell you to ask friends and family and whoever you can to try to get this money. Is that you fucking on crack? Nobody, well, yeah, some people do have money these days, but a lot of people are having a really hard time making ends meet. And we're one of them. We're doing pretty good, but we can't say we could do better. Sure, we could by not going out to eat. Thing is, we don't do it every day. Even though we're disabled and we're on disability, does that mean we should be stripped of all the things that everybody else has? Being disabled and on disability, and staying home, everybody thinks that's just great. Man, I wish I could stay home. You know what? We wish we could go to work because this is really fucking boring. And that's part of where the mania kicks in for me. Yeah, I can only speak for myself. I'd like to hear about yours, how you handle yours, what you do when you are in a bipolar state. That just sounds funny. Anyway, hopefully I get my new glasses tomorrow. Supposed to. And then I ordered mealworms for my bearded dragons. I thought Echo was out of brumation, which is another word for hibernation, but with reptiles it's a little bit different. Um, he seemed awake and alert and in a different part of his enclosure. So I turned his lights on and I picked him up and cuddled him because I just miss him so much. And I gave him some food. And I don't know if he ate it, any of it, because when they're mealworms, they move around the dish and you can't really. I suppose I should have counted them, but I thought he was awake. And so I put his lights on, and then he went back to his spot where he was hibernating, and I peeked in on him, and he was sleeping. And it's like with reptiles of that, bearded dragons, you have your nocturnal ones, you have your ones that are awake. They're uh, I can't say it, but they're awake day and night. They can be awake during the day, but they can also be awake at night. So you just have different types. But bearded dragons are awake during the day. Then they sleep all night. They're very quiet. I like that. So supper never got made. And I went downstairs to get something to drink and take my pills, and it's dark. David never told me he went to bed. I could have been sleeping. I fall asleep in this chair all the time. He says, I don't know how you can sleep the way you do. He says, your head is this way and you're this way. And so, I don't know, I just pass out. But it's the depression and the anxiety and stress that we've been under that has made me just a mess. But I'm fighting right now to keep my eyes open. It's because I notice when I watch my videos that I bore myself so bad that I fall asleep. And it's like, so do I make other people fall asleep? I hope not. Then what's the use of doing these videos if I just put people asleep? I know one subscriber of mine watches my videos when he is laying in bed going to sleep. I'm like, am I your bedtime story? Um, it's awkward because it's like you're watching me before you go to sleep. No, I don't know. It just feels kind of weird, but he's pretty cool. I talk to him. He's been wanting me to be live, and every time I'm live, he's not on. Or when I was going about once a week live with him, and nobody else shows up. So it's like, I wish other people, and I asked, this is funny. I asked him, I don't know why nobody else shows up. He's like, because we're doing this at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, that could have something to do with it. Because I think he's in a different time zone. But I need to find something to eat because dinner is in the refrigerator instead of the pressure cooker. And I'm not going to make it. Oh, man. I gotta learn how to keep my ass awake. Maybe I should do a tutorial about that. Besides, put ice cubes in your underwear. I wouldn't do that. Depends how much money you got. But anyway, no, if you could, what do you do when you're manic? What kinds of things? Do you buy? Well, the reason I say buy, and I'm talking about shopping, is because most of the time when you have mania, that's what you do. You spend money. So I'm curious of what you spend money on. Is it a lot of little things? Is it a big thing? Is it, stuff like that? God, I only have that heater on 72 and it's roasting in here. But I have layers on because, well, when you live in a cold climate, you learn how to layer. That sounded really weird too. Yeah, I'm in a goofy mood. I think because I'm overtired. Um, because I don't know how I can be in a goofy mood after the few weeks that we've been enduring. Enduring? Whatever. You know what I mean. Um, if you like my background, if you like my purple blanket on my chair, if you like my pink background, yeah, I'm wearing gray and white, but I actually really like it. Um, I don't care. I mean, I care like that, but I just would like some comments. I would like some feedback. I would like you to subscribe. I've picked up, a few extra subscribers, which I totally appreciate because I try as hard as I can. Um, I still am trying to learn how to edit, but I just don't have the desire to. I like to be original, unique, me. I've been that way my whole life. I don't want to be bright lights, big city. I don't want to be, my lights are pink because I like it that way. I like to have a little color. I don't like everything to feel sterile, like at the doctor's office. Even they have more color. Here, if you want, I can just make them white. We'll just have some fun. What the fuck? Um, and then you'll be able to see what just white looks like. It looks boring to me. Oh God, that's bright. I can turn down. I have a smart house. It goes with the smart ass that lives in it. Um, and I can sit here and do all this really cool shit with it. It's fun. I love it. I love technology. Um, do you like, when you go to the eye doctor and they flip the things and they say, is this clear? Is this clear? I went through that. So it's like, okay, let's just say that the other one was scene A or 1. This one's B or 2. You know, let me know which one you like more. I can make it brighter. I can make it darker. Should we do a C? A C3? We'll do that. Let's do that. Just because I'm in a goofy mood. Okay, so we have this. We have this. That's darker. But then we have, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. That's fascinating. That's light from my monitor and from my camera. Now I can't find the button. Oh, there it is. And then, we've got really bright, just the side lights. Those. Oh shit, hang on. You put your hand up. It's still blurry. What the fuck? Usually put your hand over it and then it refocuses. And it's not. I don't know if it's because it's too bright and I'm too close. Probably because I'm fucking around too much. But, I'm all about entertainment. Oh, that's better. So is that D4? Yeah, I guess we could call it D4 because C3 kind of was a failure. But, do you like things? Do I look more presentable or whatever you want to call it when the pink and the purple pop more and it's more pink in here? Or do you like it when it's more bright? Or, what's more, what scene, I guess if you want to call it. We're going to do one more because I have fun with this shit. I love this. Let me see. Okay. Here we're going to go all out. This is, we went to D, so this would be E, 5. Oh man, that really shows my ugly. Yikes. It's fun though. I love technology. I don't game. I don't I used to game on my computer. I used to play Sims all the time. Um, yeah, I kind of like that. I like the lower, not so bright looks, just because the really bright shows more flaws. Um, and I'm very self-conscious. It kind of looks nice until I have a hair in my mouth. See, if I move my hand, the colors change. I don't know. I'm just screwing around. The hair in my mouth. But anyway, yeah, that's called ADD. I guess we're just going to leave it bright. Kind of like it. Yeah, I think I know the settings that I have it on. But anyway, my original reason for this video was bipolar and the mania and how you deal. How do you deal with your mania? I guess that would be another question to ask. See, when it's so bright, I squint. But because I have really sensitive eyes. Eye doctor told me that. This is a second or third eye doctor that told me that. And my ADD is just out of control. But yet, I did talk to my therapist about that, how I jump, or I have been told I talk in circles. I'll jump from topic to topic. And he said that's part of the borderline personality disorder. And I like talking about different things. God, I'm a hot mess. That feels good. Do you ever see those head scratchers? They look like a claw. Like that. And you just wonder how that feels. I'm not going to buy one because I don't care that much. Maybe I should, I've seen people in the store, they're trying on hats. Well, of course, trying on shoes. I've seen people trying on clothes right in the middle of the store. I can see if it's a jacket, but it was like shirts. And don't try on bras in the store. Go in the dressing room. Just as a little pro tip. See, now I moved my hand and you see how it changed colors. This is wicked shit. I don't get it, but it's the program that goes along with the camera, and I like it. I've gotten used to it. Even though my other one had better options, I had more options. This is fine as long as you can see me in my mug. Yes, I remembered to put lip shit on this time, so I wasn't messing with my lips all the time. The only thing is it dries out my lips, and I've read about that before. There's something with lip gloss that dries out your lips. I don't know why that is, but I noticed it today. Anyway, anywho, the weekend is coming up. It was a full moon. Maybe that's why I couldn't keep my ass awake. No, because it's not anything new. Anyway, comment, subscribe, enjoy, show me some love. I would so appreciate that. I'm up to 31 subscribers, but I've only been doing this for, I think, 2 months. And I think it's okay to me, because I don't do this for that reason. I do this as a personal diary. I do it to try to educate other people. I try to help other people with things that maybe they don't know how to get help, where to get help. Um, that was just a baby cough. I made sure of it. If the feelings or the actions or things like that, if that's normal when you have certain mental illnesses, if, oh, you have that, I do too, sort of in common, this is a club. You have to have special powers to be in this club. I'd rather not, but I am. So I deal with it. I come here and act goofy and show you what a person who has multiple personalities. No, sometimes I feel like I do. And I like it that way. I like being different. I love being different. But to show you that you are probably not alone, you may have it worse and you may not. So it'll just kind of show you that there's somebody out there that's not fake. I don't fake shit. I don't know how because I'm too honest. Anyway, I already said, goodbye. I already said goodbye, but I miss you already. Oh God, I need something to eat. I'm so dramatic. I should cut that out. I know how to cut out the end and the beginning. I think I might know how to cut out the end, beginning, the middle. Somewhere in between the beginning and the end. But I don't want to fuck with it because I like things the way they are. I like being me. I like you seeing that I'm not afraid to be who I am, despite my mental illnesses. I've learned to accept them. I don't like them. Don't get that idea. I don't like them. I used to ask my psychiatrist, who am I? I don't know who I am. I don't like that. If went off all my medication, who would I be? I hot mess. Now I got the itchies. The weather here is dry, and I get such dry skin. God, now that I'm coughing again. Now that you know so much about me, I'm weird. I'm unique. You should be unique. You should be yourself. You shouldn't be afraid to be who you really are. Although I talk about chameleon, that's a term where you're around people you don't know, people that don't know you, and in order to not look batshit crazy, yeah, I'm trying not to laugh, you follow their lead. You see how they act. You see what they do. And then you do that. Because it depends on who it is. Is it your boss? Not your boss, but if you're at a Christmas party and people are all being this way, or you're at a birthday party, or you're hanging out with somebody new for the first time, or whatever, you're having conversation with a stranger, somebody you probably will never see again, and you don't want them to know the real you. Even though they're strangers and you probably never see them again, who gives a fuck? But I'm just saying, I call it chameleon. You morph yourself to be like them and do what they're doing so you don't stand out. Oh, there are times I stand out because I don't give a shit. It depends on my mood. It depends on which mental illness is acting up that day. Because you have that, where you might have this going on this day because this one's acting up. And I noticed that. Ever since I think I've been doing this channel, I've really noticed a lot of differences and different things with my mental illnesses and how they act. God, that changed colors. That's so fucking trippy. My other one didn't do that, but I don't mind. It's just different. So anyway, I'm out. I am going to try to go find some grub. It's probably going to be Pop-Tarts because it's easy and it's winter, and winter we are extremely lazy. And people, that's a misconception people have. I shouldn't even say that about lazy. But people have this misconception that when you have mental illnesses, it makes you lazy. It's not that you're lazy. It's the depression. You have the depression. You don't realize the actions that it's having effect. No. If you heard that, Sasha sighed really loud, like, shut up. You don't realize the effects that it has on you, but you feel lazy because you just feel like, if you ever saw Face Off when he's in prison, and I'll just go real quick because this is really a cool part. But he's in prison and the floor is metal, steel, whatever, and it's got a bunch of holes in it. And his shoes that they put on him, kind of like boots, and they're magnetic, and he can hardly walk. And that's John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. Awesome movie. I love that movie. And he's trying to walk, and he can hardly lift his legs and hardly lift his feet because they're magnetized. That's really kind of a really good analogy when it comes to mental illness. When you're depressed, you feel like you're wearing magnetic shoes on a metal floor. You just can't pick them up. It's so hard. But I'm really good at this if you think about it. At least I like to think I am. My little heater, my new little heater just kicked in. It's so nice. Okay, I'm shutting up. You have a great weekend. I will be back. I always say I'll be back tomorrow, even though I skipped yesterday because yesterday was just a rough one. But I do try to take the time to make the videos and entertain. I entertain myself just because there's nobody else around. David's sleeping that I know of. He wasn't in the living room. He wasn't in the kitchen. He wasn't in the bathroom. I don't think he was out in the garage because it was like, I don't even remember how cold it is. Not very cold. Today it's warm. It's supposed to get to 45 and then get back down to 6. Right now it says 19 Fahrenheit. So I hope you have a good weekend for the third time. I just enjoy doing this. I really do. I really enjoy making videos. I really hope that you enjoy them. I try to make mental illnesses and mental problems easier to deal with and bearable and humorous to a point. And that's just the way I roll. So you have a fantastic Whatever you do, be you. I shake. It's lithium. I don't care. People think I'm cold. People think I'm nervous. No. I've gotten to the point where I learned to say, it's just a side effect from a medication that I take, which is 100% completely true. I could take medication to stop it. I don't want to. I don't want more medications. I got to get out of here. I'm driving you people crazy. Have a good one.